Something different again from what I normally do. This is my Canon 450D, and at first I was actually going to talk about the actual camera, but then I realised this is my first SLR and I have nothing to compare it to, so really the review would be kind of useless. So instead I'm going to show you the lens, which is just the Canon 50mm f1.8 lens. This lens is pretty cheap. If you live in Australia, it cost about $100 to get. Yeah, I should probably say everything I say about this lens, if you know anything about SLR photography or lenses, a lot of what I'm going to be saying is going to sound pretty lowbrow and non-technical, so you can probably save yourself the energy and maybe not watch this. Having said that, this is a really good learning lens. I mean, because once you set all the parameters that you can, like the ISO, the shutter speed, and the aperture size, all you need to worry about is focus. And this lens will give you really good control over depth of field. So I mean, I've been mucking around with this lens, and I'm actually pretty sure that you could probably make a turd look artistic with this lens. Yeah, but the reason I bought this lens is because I do a lot of photography in really low light conditions, and all of that is at concerts. So I mean, if you open the aperture like wide open to f1.8, I can get away with shutter speeds of 1/100th of a second, which is basically unheard of when I used to shoot with the point and shoot that's actually filming this. With that one, you'd be lucky to get away with shutter speeds of 1/20th of a second, and like even then the image might not be properly exposed. So this one, with the aperture wide open, you can still use really sharp, fast shutter speeds and still get really clear images. The autofocus in dim conditions, like I said before, I have nothing to compare this to, but it feels really fast to me. And for the most part it's pretty accurate as well. So if you want to hear how fast it is, it does its thing. Yep, so it's pretty fast. Oh, another thing, the lens is specified as a 50mm, but when you put it on a 450D body, its equivalent is actually 80mm. So you need to stand about 2 to 2.5 meters away from someone to get a full body shot, and about half meter to a meter to do like a portrait shot. As far as I can see, this lens has like two downsides, and they're not even really downsides anyway. The first one is when the aperture is opened all the way up, the focus is really sensitive, so the difference between something that's in focus and something that's not in focus is really small. What I mean by that is sometimes when I'm trying to take photos of someone singing, like I am intending to focus on their eye, but then maybe when I have a look at the photo later, I actually focused on their nose or something. With practice, you can probably get rid of that. The second thing, like, you know, probably isn't even an issue if you can afford to be flexible between the distance between you and your subject. But I've been to concerts where basically, like, the crowd's really dense, and basically people get shitty with you if you try keep on shifting in front of them to take photos. So as a result, without zoom control, you end up with a whole bunch of photos that look composed exactly the same. Like, I mean, I guess you can get around this by cropping the photos and whatever, but it's just a bit limiting. So just to wrap it up, I really like this lens. It's a lot of fun to take photos with. If I could, I probably wouldn't have paid extra to get the 18 to 55mm kit lens that comes with it, because I pretty rarely, well actually I've never taken it to a concert with me. But I guess it depends on what you're going to be shooting. So obviously that's not going to be the same for everyone.